ourselves King Arthur. We travel for various purposes, to explore the culture of soils, to view the curiosities of art, to survey the beauties of nature, yes, you as well, but also belonging to and to learn the manners of men, their politics and their modes of life. This following little work proposes a new object of pursuit, that of examining the face of a country by the rules of picturesque beauty. Welcome to the Wye Tour. Ladies and gentlemen, this weekend we are recreating the famous Wye Tour of the late 18th century, early 19th century, where tourists travelled from Ross-on-Wye to Chepstow, and we've been doing just that on 2 coaches. We started yesterday morning at Ross-on-Wye. We did a show at Ross-on-Wye, then at Goodrich, then at Simmons Yat last night at the Savoy Theatre in Monmouth, and today we performed at Brockwere and at Tintern, and now we are here at Piercefield House, or St. Arvans Village Hall, as it's now known as Piercefield House, which is just, as you know, across the field there, has no roof on it, but today we've been fine without a rooftop, so. But we never know with British weather, which is what this is all about. This tour, or the Grand Tour, which is not, but it's grand enough for us. We've had a wonderful time, and this evening we are performing the whole show at the Drill Hall, Chepstow, starting at 7:30. Tickets still available. Thank you very much.
The Wye Tour owes its origins to the Reverend John Edgerton, who was vicar or rector of Ross-on-Wye in the 1740s. He entertained his friends by taking them down the river in pleasure boats. The idea caught on, and by the 1770s, the commercial version was becoming established as a 2-day trip. Tourists were taken from Ross to Monmouth, and then Monmouth to Chepstow for the second day.
In the late 18th century, Britain was on the edge of a Europe in turmoil as the Napoleonic Wars raged. Men and women of means were no longer able to tour to the continent in safety and began to look for alternatives closer to home. As a result, the Wye Tour became very popular. The boats that Pippa mentions, which you will see any moment a replica of, had a protective awning which protected the inhabitants, the occupants of the boat from inclement weather and from the blazing sun on a day like today. And under the canopy on the tour boat was a little table that you would have for your sketchbook as you sketched the wonderful sights as you sailed down the river, and also for writing poetry and prose. An itinerary became established to take in the important sights on the route, with stopping places for picnics, of course, and these were all provided as part of the package tour. The Wye had everything to inspire the romantic traveller: the scenery in all its variety, infernal industry, the ruins of Tintern Abbey, castles on cliff tops, and of course, the wonders of the Piercefield walks.
In 1783, the book that was to become the essential companion was finally published. The Reverend William Gilpin's Observations on the River Wye, relative chiefly to picturesque beauty. Gilpin laid down rules for assessing the picturesque quality of the views encountered on the trip down the river. His extreme ideas were exposed to ridicule by some, but the search for the picturesque scene became an obsession for the growing number of people who followed faithfully in his footsteps. The Wye Tour can be seen as the first packaged tour, and the lower Wye Valley has been hailed as the birthplace of British tourism. Such was its importance.
Rules of the picturesque. The most perfect river views are composed of 4 grand parts. The area, which is the river itself, the 2 side screens, which are the opposite banks, and the front screen, which points out the winding of the river. Start hence with us and trace with raptured eye the wild meanderings of the beauteous Wye.
Scene 1, scene 7. It's been a long day. Scene 7. Are we ready? Beginners, please. The Wye tourists arrive in Piercefield.
Heads with us and trace with rapture. Start 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 heads with us and trace with rapture. The world with us, yes, start heads with us and trace with rapture. Start heads with us and trace with rapture.
Welcome to the Piercefield estate, laid out to the 1750s by Valentine Morris. You can all see it through the window there. There we go. Who was the owner of Piercefield at the time. The house itself dates from after Valentine's death. One of our leading architects of the day has been commissioned to redesign the house. Yes. No other than Sir John Soane. Let the tourists imagine a continuous range of more than 3 miles laid out in consummate skill. There were seats and views and romantic buildings. I hope you're all sketching these, are you? May I have a look? Very good. Is that a note to yourself? That's very good. There's Piers. I can see the house. Very good. And these are the seats of the music. Over time, the term picturesque came to be used outside the context of art, of course, influencing garden design, landscape fashions, and ornamental walks. Is that an ornamental walk? It's an ornamental walk. Yes, very good.
The gardens are 7 miles round, and we walked as far as our legs were able to carry us. We could not compass the whole round, but we saw all the principal prospects. To attempt describing them is impossible, at least to do it with justice to their merit. Yet, though unequal to the task, I must say something. The gardens are situated on the rocks and cut into walks, in themselves excessively beautiful, but the superior beauty of the views they command so entirely engrosses the eye that they can be very little heeded. Sometimes we look down upon the river from an eminence of near 400 feet, which winds itself around as in a semicircle. The opposite side is bounded by rocks of equal height, some barren and resembling the ruins of an old fortification. Others are covered with the most pleasing variety of greens the eye can wish to behold, while at the bottom, cattle are feeding in the sweet pastures by the river's side. Although they appeared to our view more like hens and chickens. And I do assure you, one of our company took them for such.
We have just performed at Tintern with the Abbey as the backdrop, which was on such a beautiful day. It was a great, great pleasure for us. And there, we were having our picnic, as was the case in the 18th century. We were having our picnic on the lawns of Tintern Abbey, and we were entertained by two Welsh singers from Chepstow. Now, if you are going on the Wye Tour, I just wanted to tell you that they are available for hire to entertain you at your picnic outside the Abbey, and they have followed us on their boat down the River Wye, and so they're still with us here at Piercefield, and we've paid them already, but they're still. I haven't got any more loose change. And the beggars at Tintern were a real problem as well. But I think we're past that. So, as you're still with us, Welsh singers from Chepstow, would you please entertain us again? Indeed. Singers from Chepstow always have a problem with their memory. Worst of all.
He's got the point.
There we go. Oh, you paid her,
yeah, he's paid us. Iglaw slicereos and twin yo and the coid. Our road only night is spoiled, but Arian roar I boy.
From Mr. Steve Bussey from Bayfield, I think, yes, in Chepstow.
Valentine Morris owned Piercefield. It was built on the wealth of Caribbean sugarcane.
About a mile beyond their walks is a very romantic cliff called the Wind Cliff, from which the extent of the prospect is prodigious, but it is most remarkable for the surprising echo on firing a pistol or gun from it. The explosion is repeated 5 times, very distinctly, from rock to rock, often 7, and if the calmness of the weather happens to be remarkably favourable, 9 times. This echo is wonderfully curious. They pass romantically named viewpoints such as the grotto and lovers leap.
Lovers leap.
Lovers leap.
Lovers leap.
Lovers leap.
Lovers leap.
Lovers leap. Lovers leap.
Ho there! Hold there! Ho there!
Water is wide.
parts united produce an effect in these high, rocky, woody and confined regions far beyond the power of language to express, adequate to its just reward. It was highly amusing to the company witnessing the workmen leaving their employment in the woods, hurrying to the shores of the river, and standing with mute astonishment on hearing the fine concord of sweet sounds as the barge gently glided on the bosom of the peaceful Wye.
And our barge will now gently glide on to Chepstow. So if you'd like to see the whole show from Ross to Chepstow, please come to the drill hall. It starts this evening at 7:30. Please do come along. So we will now get back on our barges, which are parked outside, and head, ladies and gentlemen of the Wye Tour, to Chepstow!
Centuries with rapture,